What is that song?
Hello. Just turning my cams on. There we go.
Evening,
Every
fella.
time. Evening.
What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the OverAndOut show. I
welcome back.
I thought I had more there. I ran out. You know when you just go, oh no, it's nothing. No, it's nothing. I thought I had a quip or something, but I don't. Cheers, fella. Good to be back.
Oh, cheers. Haven't got a drink. It's all right. I'm not at home anymore. I need to get some kind of beer fridge in here.
It still
or
looks
like a
cold
beer
in that
cooler.
studio.
It still is pretty cold.
Dude.
Can you see that? It's 7.5 degrees in here. And I've turned the heating on because I wasn't going to turn it on because of like the noise and everything, but like fuck it, don't care. If you hear air conditioning and fucking
Deal
heat
with
coming
it.
on,
Sure,
don't
last
care.
time we recorded, my stupid kids came up into the room. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I sent you something today that I want to talk about. Now, I didn't discover this. Right? My sister showed me this, and I just lolled. Right when I saw it, I just got to get the. I don't remember her name. Jackie Weaver. Did you watch the video? Why is this
yeah. The one with the. Oh, actually, no. I have seen that video. I thought you sent me another one, which is not dissimilar to that.
I think that's the full video though.
This is the full video.
I think I sent you the full. Anyway, look.
Yeah. I know.
If you know what Jackie Weaver is, I only learned this today, but this was relevant, by the way, at the time of recording. So when you're watching this, you'll probably be like, "Yo, Dill, I was like a lifetime ago, fella."
Technically, it's not incredibly relevant because something else on Zoom has happened since then, which has overtaken it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. There's a guy. It's in the States.
Sorry, I'm just fucking.
I mean,
here.
do we have to talk about this? I don't even know. I was like, basically, it's a Zoom call, which you will explain in a second. But there's another Zoom call that's happened, where basically it was like a judge and some guy, and he was meant to be like giving evidence or something, and he had the cat, the cat face on Zoom. You know how like you can have these filters and everything.
By mistake?
He has a cat face on. Yeah, he couldn't turn it off, and so. He's sitting there, and the two guys, they're all like in their 50s probably.
There you go. So if I just Google
hilarious.
Zoom cat face,
it will come up straight away.
that is just brilliant.
It's arguably better than the one you sent me.
True. People are such idiots, man. If there's one thing I love, it's just
it's a good idiot.
It's just people being idiots on the internet. I love stuff like that, you know, just like stupidity, just like legit. You're just like, what is going on there? Like, it's just like so this what is her name? Jackie Weaver. I don't know what. Anyway, if you haven't seen it, all right, just Google Jackie Weaver. It's bound to come up. But she's basically it was like a church meeting, like a congregation church kind of religious meeting thing about a church, something like that, right? There's a name.
Is it a cult?
That's a bigger question, isn't it? Is religion
Let's leave
a
that
cult?
for another episode.
And they're having a Zoom meeting. They got all the people part of the group, the committee that decide shit, and they're all old, right? And like I'm thinking, when I'm saying old, I'm thinking like 65 up, right? Sorry if any of you are younger than that, but like that's kind of what I'm thinking when I'm saying like just categorize that as old, you know? And basically they sit down, and from what you can gather is they must have had a meeting previously, and then the chairman said something that this woman Jackie Weaver didn't like, and she just kicked him out of the meeting. So this whole thing kicked off, and so you join them in the next meeting, and he's basically going, Jackie, if we have this meeting, are you going to am I going to be kicked out this time for saying something? And she was like, what? No. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? And then he starts arguing with her, and she's like, no, not if you behave. And he's like, look, I don't need to behave. I'm the chairman of this. We need to get this sorted. In the middle of his sentence, she's just like, fuck yeah. Just boots him out again. Like mid-sentence. She just kicks him out of the meeting. And then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
So then it's just like all these old people just shouting at each other and bitching at. There's a couple of young guys in it that are getting involved at some point, the deputy chairman or something. But it's just like there's a sentence in it where one of the people is giving her a hard time. I think it might be the chairman before he gets kicked out. He says the sentence, and this is how I found out, because my sister was like, "Have you seen this meme?" And I was like, "No." She showed me the video, and basically she starts going, "You need to behave, you need to behave." And then this guy, the chairman goes, he says this line that's like, "Jackie Weaver, you have no authority here whatsoever," something along the lines of that. And then she just goes like, "Get fucked." Just exits him out of the conversation. And then he's obviously sitting at home like this, "You have no authority," and he's just black screen. Fuck. And then that's where the hell breaks loose. And I just thought, like, listen up, Jackie Weaver, right?
Yeah.
Karen, chill out, love. Stop kicking people out of their own bloody Zoom chats. But I laughed ridiculous. So hard at just everyone blowing up, and then it just turned into basically an argument of old people. So if I Google Jackie Weaver, the video is ridiculous. She's become a meme. She was on the news. Telling us TV.
Yeah, it was on the news. Yeah.
There's like loads of things on Channel 4. There's a story. Did Jackie Weaver actually have the authority? Oh my goodness me! And there's just photos of her. Fair play to her. She's become a bloody national treasure here by the looks of it. But it's great. It's just I saw that. My sister showed me it, and she was just telling me the story. Some of the things you read on the news afterwards. There's a post here of one of the guys, and it says Hadford Parish Council no confidence vote after Zoom meeting. Just like there's all this stuff going on in the world, and then in Hadford
real stuff.
There's a
like
church parish
Yeah.
argument going on, and they can't keep their shit together. You're like, here, guys,
crazy,
never worry about what's happening in hospitals. There's a bunch of old folk here having a full-scale argument.
Doesn't surprise me.
The world's a mess.
The world is a mess. It is. It's a terrible mess. I think it's heightened by the fact everyone's raging a bit more now, because everyone's stuck at home having Zoom meetings, which no one likes. No one likes a Zoom meeting.
They don't. They don't at all. I'm going to actually, now that you've said that, I'm going to read you a sentence. Oh, I have to log into the interwebs. Autofill. What's the password? I'll just use my phone. Be easier. I got a mate, right? A guy I know through a bike shop I used to work at, right? He put up a quote today, and he's got a
Is it his quote, or is it just some bullshit meme?
No. It's not a meme. He just said a thing, but it involves the Guardian. All right. So first off, I'll explain who he is. All right. His name's Brent. All right. Brent Richards. Doesn't really matter, because I'm not going to be mean about him.
Yeah, Brent Richards. Yeah.
So Brent, basically, I knew from the bike industry. He was like one of the guys that created a bike brand called Ragley. He helped us a lot when I was. He's a good guy. I like him. Real nice dude. And has a company now called Heb Trial Co., where it's like Hebrideanshire Trouser Company. They make, and the whole point of it was, the way Sheffield steel used to be built in Sheffield, and then that whole industry died. Well, he wanted to bring back, I think from Hebrideanshire used to make trousers, not necessarily denim. I don't know a lot of this, but it's something like moleskin, men's like trousers. Their website's great because they're like, he's like us, but older. Like imagine you and I, but like
55.
Yeah, right. Imagine what we'll be like. And he's basically like, he's basically, the whole gist of their company is great because it's just like trousers but not skinny. Like you don't need skinny trousers, and it's like slagging guys and stuff with skinny trousers. Anyway, he's got this like, and I try to work out his accent because we were basically creating these like cycle lights, and I remember he said the sentence once, and he was like, he was a real wacky dude, real wacky ideas, and that's why I really liked about him. And he said the sentence in a meeting one day, it's super cash. We were, bear in mind, I was working for a family-run business that didn't really like to, they didn't do like totally wacky stuff. So we were doing things, and he was like, right, we want to package these lights, do we? And we were like, yeah. And he goes, tell you what we need to do. We need to put these lights in a biscuit tin. And we were like, sorry, in a what? And he goes, put them in a biscuit tin. We were like, what do you mean a biscuit tin? He's like, just package them in a biscuit tin. We were like, why? He goes, no one's doing that. Get a biscuit tin, brand it up, package the lights. We fucking did. We did that. Put lights in a biscuit. And they were great. Great packaging. Great idea. Wow. Wacky as fuck. But that's what I always remember him as. And the other day I was scrolling through the Twitter sphere. And he shares this. He just put this tweet up. And I'll tell you what the tweet says first. Basically, it's The Guardian. I know you love The Guardian.
Like any.
And it's a whole article basically about. I'll send you it so you can have a look. It's the article's titled "We Cannot Live Like This Forever." We just accept cookies real quick. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Oh.
All right, and it's like
all the cookies all the time.
We cannot live like this forever. Readers on booking summer holidays. All right, for Britons on the pros and cons of taking trips in the UK amid conflicting government advice. And then it basically just chats to, some woman from Northampton who's saying, we've got 3 trips booked and we won't cancel, right?
Okay.
All right, and then another guy is like, if UK holidays will be forbidden this year, something will have gone very wrong. I'm just reading the high-level quotes, right? Prices are through the roof, but we need to get back to normal. These are the different people that are involved. Travelling before August would be silly, even close to home. But she's still going to go anyway. Still going to go on her holiday, that girl. And then the article goes into basically how enraged these people are. And Brant shared it on a tweet and just wrote, "It seems many white middle-class people are furious." And I just saw that tweet and then read that article and I was like, that is just so fucking true, isn't it? Like, amidst all this shit, there's these people going like, what do you mean I won't be able to do? I can't even do a holiday to Cornwall this year. Bloody annoying. God, what do I do? And it's just like, you read things like that and you think like, yeah, there's all this crazy shit that goes on. And then people are still self-obsessed with their own stupid little problems. Can't go on my holiday to Cornwall. I was going to go to Devon this year. God damn it. And you think, chill the fuck out.
You know what I find really funny is that a lot of the people that are like that are, especially when it's to do with their age, it's like, guys, you are in, okay, you're not in the top tier of lethability or whatever, of like, I don't know, of dying of it.
Yeah.
But you're pretty close.
Yeah.
But you're still, you're not keeping social distancing. You're still wanting to go to your holiday in Cornwall.
Yeah.
And there's part of me sometimes when you see these people that are just a bit older and they're not obeying the rules, I just want to go up and fucking lick their face and go,
Jesus,
I hope you get it.
Jesus,
just so you can chill out.
That. What's wrong with you?
Why not?
Well, you probably can.
I want to lick someone's face.
Oh my God, you face licking.
No, but it's like, it's just that kind of thing of, that invisibility. Invincibility, because it hasn't actually happened directly to you or anyone you know, and it's like, oh yeah, well Dave, he was overweight. Dave was 5 years older than me. It's not for me.
Is it invincibility or is it just blatant ignorance?
No, I think it's invincibility. I think there's people of a certain wealth bracket that think they're immune. Oh, that and builders, they're immune.
But builders are. Builders and people who do work for the road, like the DOE road service,
Yeah.
I think once you put on a high vis and a white van, you're just nothing can get.
I know. There's everyone going around going, oh, we've got to get the vaccine. So you don't need a vaccine, just get a high vis jacket.
Yeah. There's a high vis and a hard hat, stand outside. That is, because you always they still huddle. They love a good huddle, those guys. But you're right.
Sharing cups of tea and shit.
You are right though about the age bracket thing. I see that and I'm just like, goodness me.
You know what? I think though it's unfair to say that really though, because there's a lot of people of all different ages that are just fucking about not obeying the rules. But then I look at some of these rules and I think sometimes I'm, you know what I want? I want everyone to stay inside apart from me.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with rules and regulations. You just don't want people near you.
No,
which I can respect sometimes.
When I was driving to the studio today, it's just like, it's Friday night. It's like the rush hour was like normal, like it was, many years ago. And you're just like, how aren't you people meant to be staying at home? Where are you all going?
Yeah.
I thought we were meant to be working from home.
He says on his way to the studio to record a podcast.
Yeah, but this is
Guys, this is
I'm on my
essential.
own in here.
This is
I'm
essential
it is.
travel here. There's people who need to
I'm on
listen
my
to this.
own.
No, true. And it's
I'm
not
on my
far
own
from
in
your
here,
house
so
either.
it's like no. Yeah, it's well within my house. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're right though, man. I like it blows my mind. Like, and you know what? Like, it opens up. So we got this message right on the. Did you see this message on our Instagram page?
Yeah, I did see.
You've seen it. You obviously have, right?
I know exactly what you're talking
Okay,
about.
so some dude messaged us from a page called the the Flat Earth Society, something like some name like that, and he was like, "Yo,
Yeah.
get me on the podcast. I'll blow your minds, yada yada yada." And I replied like, "Yo, that sounds super interesting." By the way, I keep saying,
Oh, you did actually reply.
yeah, I keep saying yo because I'm
Okay.
watching Breaking Bad again. I'm
Oh,
very
Jesus.
aware of it, yo. Right?
Okay.
So I said to him,
Yeah, bitches. That's what he says,
That
isn't
was-
it? Oh, bitches.
it sounded like Al Pacino trying to be Jesse Pinkman. Hey, bitches.
You're talking. Say hello to my little friend, bitches.
Bitches. I don't like it when he says bitches in it. It sounds stupid. Also,
Oh, is it too sexualized?
While we're on that, okay. I don't know, but I don't know how far I am into it. All right, but I hate Walter White.
How many
He's a-
episodes are you in?
He's a cock. The bit where he's fighting with a fly.
Oh, okay, so you're a fair few seasons in. Yeah, no, he's a full-on bellend.
This is the
throughout whole
second time
thing.
I've tried to watch it, because the first time I got the bit with the pizza lands on his roof and I give up because I didn't like the it was just real negative. But then I got through it and then I started it again. Basically, I watched it from the beginning again, and now I'm getting into it. I'm enjoying it. But he is a massive cock end. Like I really don't like him. He annoys me.
Yeah, no, it's. I find it's when his arrogance takes over.
Yeah.
And you're like, you could have just there's part of me going, you could have just carried on working for Gus Fring and just made millions.
Yeah.
And just got on with your life. But you needed more, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's like, do you really?
He says a sentence in it, and I was like, yeah, I relate to that now. Not for me, but he was like, he says in it, there was a point where, you know, I'd got to a point where I'd done enough, and that was enough, you know. Since that point, I've lived too long, and I went, I can apply that to a few people now. You know, it's just like that was as far as I could have got. Everything's downhill from here, and I was like, yeah, that should be applied more commonly. But what was I saying before the yo? Oh yeah, the dude from the Flat Earth Society, and I said to him, sounds great in theory, but I'm just not sure we're ready for that. And it was like, because you and I must have talked about this, because you said to me, because it was you that said to me, the problem with that is, it's that's going to be a difficult conversation, because will it be a conversation, or is it going to be like, I guess preaching is what we were thinking.
Yeah, it will be.
And it's exactly what it will be. And it's like, there would have been like, there's a part of me would love to chat about that, but like, do you ever watch what's that real crazy right-wing American dude on YouTube?
Crowder.
Louder with Crowder. Yeah. Do you ever watch his shows?
No, never seen it.
Dude, interesting. Mental.
No, I know.
Really interesting. But like, he does.
But is it mental? That's the problem.
Well, I don't. This is what I was getting to with the Flat Earth thing. I looked at the guy's page and I scrolled through some stuff, and I was like, I have a headache now, because at the end of it, I was like, I don't know. Is the world flat? I don't know now, because to be honest, I can only go by what I'm taught. Like, I am not. At no moment soon am I flying into space to have a look at the Earth. I'm not just popping out real quick. Just a guy got whoop. Oh yes, clearly a globe. Back in. So I have to go by what. I guess the point where like you just have to decide, do you want to accept it or not? It's a bit matrixy. But the problem is, when you start to realize that you have to accept it, then then it gets really matrixy, and then you go, Jesus fucking Christ, what's real?
Well, the thing is, it's all interpretation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, there are people out there that will find the science, and I'm doing the bunny ears thing here, to prove that the Earth is round, and then you're going to have people doing the science to find that it's flat.
Yeah.
And admittedly, though, I think the flat Earth thing's a load of nonsense, because I think that there's an overwhelming amount of evidence for the contrary. But
that word there.
you know, but the thing is, but it's stuff like with what's going on today, it's like the vaccine thing and the COVID thing. It's like you've got all these people saying, actually, it's not as bad as you think it is, and these are doctors apparently, you know, and then you've got other doctors going, just stay the fuck inside, and you're going, well, there's science to say that masks do work, there's science to say that masks don't work. And now you've got things like Germany and Switzerland and a couple of other countries are going, well, we're not going to give the vaccine to older people because there's not enough proof that it actually works on them. So we're going to start on the younger people. And then I was like, so have we just wasted a whole load of vaccine on all the old people in care homes when it's not going to make any difference, and they should have been giving it to the workforce and the younger people so we could have had the economy back up and running?
Yeah.
And you're like, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then, and you're like, well, is that right or wrong? Is it the right thing? I have a whole theory about this. I can't even get into it on this. Like, honestly, I could do a Dill's theories on things channel. Like, you
should do something like Just a Thought or something.
If you want to check out some of my Just a Thought series, you can check it out on my own YouTube channel. It's Dillon Osborne on YouTube. Where I do stuff like that. But I don't really want to get into it because you know what the problem is, right?
There's no conversation.
Yeah. But mostly, there's no conversation. I don't really like. I have an opinion, and I'll quite happily share it with people if they want to know it. But like, I don't want to argue the opinion. I don't want to debate it. Like, I'm not interested in debating it, and that's the problem. And I think that there's a lot of people like me who have their thought or opinion about what it is, and if they were asked like straight up, what do you think's going on? You could have whatever your opinion is on it. But sometimes it's like just keep that internal. Doesn't necessarily need to be shared. But then I also have friends being like, oh, if that's what you think, you should be sharing. I'm like, well, do we though? Like, because what I'm sharing, what I would share would just be a theory. There's as much evidence for A as there is for B, and it's like, and you said they're facts. Right? I had this moment like a while back where I think I was chatting to Pamela about this. It was like, I think we were watching some TV show about the moon landing being real or fake. And I said to her, I think it was actually you got me into watching some TV show about a room number from a movie. Yeah. And we watched it. It was Stanley Kubrick. Is that what it was?
Yeah. It's basically how The Shining is basically, it's all alluding to the fact that he actually filmed the moon landing. They employed him and then they silenced him. But all the evidence is in The Shining.
Mental
that he did
it. And we tried to watch it and I was like,
it is crazy, man.
I don't know what's going on. And like, if you look hard enough you can find facts in anything. And I was like, I said to her like, but you know, like, this is all theory. Like, you know, these people are saying this, but I don't know how we got all these facts about the moon landing being real. And then I was like, what facts? Like, someone's told me that I haven't spoken to Mr. NASA. I haven't spoken to Neil. I was going to say Lance Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. Like, I haven't I'm just going by what people who we deem as not more intelligent but more in tune with an area. Like, it's like, for me to go down the whole rabbit hole of whether it was fake, I have as much fucking facts for either side of the story. So you get the point where you're like, well, what do we do here? Do we spend every minute of every day questioning and arguing everything? All right, some people do. Some people are destined to do that, and those are the people that drive change. The rest of us are just trying to work out what on earth is going on.
I think the trouble is but it's all like, because it's all to do with the hierarchy and power, isn't it? That's it. Knowledge is power, and that's why there's a big problem now with the governments and the internet. Is that governments initially were set up, and you know, and if you go back even further, like Aztecs and Greeks and stuff, it's like governments were in place because the intelligent people could make decisions and run the country, because basically everyone else was a fucking farmer and knew how to like milk a cow, and that was about it. You know, the extent of their extent of their knowledge beyond that was very limited. But now you see everyone has knowledge. And I think it's really telling, even like nowadays, you know, with that that GameStop thing, you know, with the stocks and shares, where basically I think the Wall Street or the big companies there wanted to short GameStop. And then literally it was like a few things on Reddit and everyone started buying it, and like this company on Wall Street lost billions, like 70 billion or something, and they started getting butthurt about it. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. It's like you can affect change with like the internet,
but we do it with
and
shit stuff. You know, we do it with shit stuff. Like that's part of us. It's like all that change is there, but when we try to I think the problem is those sorts of things change like almost accidentally, you know, like by
no, it is,
it's like,
and it's fluke.
Yeah,
because it's like, you might imagine the amount of times someone's gone, oh, I'm going to write a letter to the government, and then you're like, oh, okay, and then I'll sign it, and then you'll sign it, and that's that, and then I'll be it. 5 people sign it, nothing else. That could have been the GameStop thing. A few people see it on Reddit, a couple of people buy stuff, doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
you know, they're still, but occasionally these things like they skip through and they reach the other side. I just think it's really fascinating that it's like knowledge is a big problem now, and so now you've got all this. Well, it's so knowledge is so accessible that there's too much of it, and who knows what's really right and what's really wrong, because now you're looking at stuff going, well, we used to believe the government because it was written in the Daily Mail, and that's what, you know, Churchill said. And it's like, can you imagine the fucking shit Churchill did? Because there was no tapes, there was no recording, there was no CCTV, everything was behind closed doors. I mean, he probably fucking killed children in order to make World War One or two a victory, whatever it was, you know, and we'd never know. And people go, he's a hero.
That's that thing though, is like, do you know when you think about like Hot Fuzz, and they talk about the greater good, yeah. Just, I think to serve the greater good, you have to be quite ruthless, and I think people have this idea in their head that, you know, like the world's cushy, and I think the decisions that are being made and being done are like, I think when you see them, you're like, fuck, that was quite ruthless. But like, and you said it, I think you said it with knowledge is power. Like everyone knows. And sorry to just burst in there, but like, we watched that dude Awaken with JP. Right?
Oh yeah,
I've watched him on the YouTube channels, and his stuff's quite interesting. But it's very force-fed information, and I'm not trying to question what he's talking about. But the problem is, like, I watched him a bit and I was like, oh, that's quite interesting. Like his whole approach and the whole thing. He's very anti everything that's going on at the minute. But then I got the point where I was like, but where's that facts? Where are those facts coming from? The same place the other facts that you're questioning are coming from. Like, we all know so much. We almost know so much that we don't know how to make a decision. Whereas, as you just said before, the people who knew the information, they looked and they were like, yes, right. Shit, bad, good, shit, that's good, right. Based on the information, let's make a decision and give them this narrative. And you're like, you know, all right, Truman, this is what we're doing. And we were like, yep, no worries, let's fucking get it done. But now we know everything, or we think we do, or we don't know everything. I don't know, but I'm going to go with we think we know everything. And now we're like, oh, well, actually, it's a conspiracy, you know? Rabbits are behind it all. It's like...
I can only hope. You know, that's the truth. I find that it's just too much information, and there's part of me go, I just want to go and find a cave in the south of France and listen to the water drip. Back of my home. And go, that's nice. I'm going to sleep now. And I'll wake up in the morning. And there is a lot to be said. I never used to get it when someone would go, I'm just going to go and live in the mountains and, like, you know, raise chickens and like forage for food, and you know, that's going to be my life. And I was like, why? But you don't have the internet, you don't have a car, you don't get all these cool things. What about the Avengers movies? Where will you charge your iPad? And I thought, at the end of the day, all you need to do up there is survive. And the thing is, it's not working, is it? Because it's like you get up and you like get the chicken eggs and chop down the trees, because if you don't, you die. And there's part of me going, trees actually, that seems quite nice. You know,
imagine getting up and that was your worry. What do I our agenda today? Gather the eggs, chop down the branch.
Because there's no money involved. Because everything you have is self-sufficient. So like, and it's weird because when you take away that need for stuff and money and everything, it's like, well, what am I left with? And it's like, survival. Okay, so I need to get up, I need to feed myself, go get some food, you know, hunt a deer or whatever it is, and come back. And that's it. That's your day. There's something very liberating about this today.
And I said to her, like, when you go back to like Neanderthal days, right? They basically the day started where they got up and they were like, apart from the, what do we do today? Man fire, all that sort of bullshit, right? They get up and they're like, right, what's the crack, guys? It's fucking 8 a.m. What are we doing? Breakfast. You're like, all right, no problem. I'll go sort that out. He's out. He's out. Neanderthal man.
Yeah.
He's out for 3 hours sorting out breakfast, gathering berries.
If he's lucky.
Picking up some fucking sticks and shit. He brings it all back. 3 hours later, everyone eats breakfast. And they go, that was good. What we do now? And he's like, right, take a nap. And when we're finished with this nap, you can move that rock, push that dirt outside, and then we'll go and get lunch 4 hours later. And their life revolves around making sure that they ate. And that's how animals live. Like, I look at my cat, right, little prick's just sitting next to me here. It rolled up in a bowl like a fucking hedgehog. And it's like, it's just it's sleeping until it wakes up, at which point it'll want food, and then it'll need to shit. Maybe fuck around on the roof and chase a bird, and then come back to sleep, and then the cycle continues. At no point is it going, should I join a squash club? Should I try and make a fucking YouTube video about one-wheeling? It's not bothered. And we basically spent our whole life simplifying the process of like food.
Really complicated stuff. Really easy stuff. No, we make everything that's really easy really complicated.
And we've tried to simplify all that stuff to give us time to be important. Us really important human beings. Oh, we're also important, But then all you need to do, and I've done this a few times, not in a weird creepy way, but just walk through a graveyard, right?
Yeah.
And just have a look at the graves, and go, there's someone that died 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be there. Everyone's forgotten about them.
I don't get me started about graves. I mean, I think graveyards, and I mean, it's a waste of space. It could be a house.
This is a chirpy chat today, by the way.
Yeah.
Graveyards.
It is a waste of space because it's like I
totally agree.
I appreciate that people want to remember other people, but like my mum died 2016, and my sister has her ashes, and it's in a nice little urn thing that they got with a little heart in it. It's really nice, that kind of thing, and that sits at my sister's home, and that's it. That's the extent of that. We didn't want a gravestone or anything, so it's like, well, we're not going to go there. Your sister's house. Yeah. So, I was meant to do a job in the Caribbean, and funnily enough, the island that my mum was planning on buying an Airbnb type property on, for like holidays and renting out and stuff before she died, was actually literally the island along from where I was going. So I was going to take her ashes and spread them on the island because that's where she wanted to be, but that never came to pass. So anyway, so my sister just has that, but I'm thinking now, like her daughter, my niece, she was born after my mum died, so she'll have she has no connection. Care. No, she won't care. And then like when my kid's born, she won't care even more. So it's going to get to a point where my sister's ashes are there, my mum's ashes are there, and my sister, maybe she passes away before I do. What happens to those ashes? I then get them?
I know. And what do you do with them?
And then when I get them, obviously I'm going to keep them because it's a memory for me, right? But then, like, say I die, and then what's Yasmin going to do with them?
Dump them out and fuck tea bags in the pot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's reality, though.
And do you know what's really funny as well is because when my mum died, I was like, no, we have to keep mum's ashes. I'm going to keep them. And it's like, I tell you what, Crystal, well, you have half, I'll have half then. So we have a bit of mum with us all the time, and then we'll take some of this to the Caribbean island. And then when she actually died, and we all got around to it, Crystal was like, oh, so what do you want to do with ashes? I said, oh, you fucking keep them. I don't care.
Buck them in the Thames. I'm over it now.
And that's the thing, up to the point when she died, I was really like, no, we have to keep her, and we have to, do all that stuff. And then when she did die, I was like, it's just dust.
Yeah.
And my sister was like, oh, shall I just keep them? And I was like, yeah, fine. As long as I said, if you don't want them, I'll have them. But like, we don't need to separate them, all that stuff.
There's a lot to be said for a soul, really weird. Isn't there? Like, I still don't even, we're not going to get into this now, but I still don't even know where I sit with, like, I'm not religious, but souls make a lot of sense to me. And the idea of a body being a vessel that carries it. Like, but then you open up reincarnation and all that bullshit. So let's not get into that right now. But you're right.
Well, we're all energy, man. And the thing is that my mum, dead. And I think, actually, have you seen the film Coco?
No.
The Pixar. It's about
the cartoon with the guitar.
Yeah, with the Mexican kid.
With the guy from that bar from the last episode that wouldn't serve us.
Yeah. So what I found really interesting about that film is that when you die, there's this whole underworld thing that the kid goes into, blah, blah, blah. But then you die after that when people who are living stop remembering you.
Yeah. Forget to put
And
your
I
picture
thought
up.
it's quite dark, right? But it's true, because it's like when I die, when my sister dies, and then ultimately like when my mum's friends die,
Yeah.
she will not be remembered.
No.
Because I mean,
She won't, though.
she's not
like,
like
that's just reality.
you know. And that's the thing, is that even if like you talk about famous people, I don't like, I don't, but like someone like Beethoven, yeah, people still remember him because he was super successful and he was, wrote some of the greatest music of his time and has lasted forever. But do you think the maid who he had working in his house, Daphne, no one knows Daphne.
No, just
she died.
Sounds it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't even know if that's her name.
No, you're right, though.
She lives, she dies, and then her great grandchildren won't even know who she was. Probably won't even know her name. Like, do you know the names of your great grandparents?
I'd have to really think about it, but no, I don't.
No,
probably
you don't.
Probably Mick.
I mean, Mike. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Mick or something.
Mick and Miggy.
And something South African. I don't know. Like. I don't know. I can't. What's a stereotypical South African name?
See if you're gonna go for a stereotypical South African name. Where are you gonna go though? Because this is an interesting thing. Because where you gonna go? Are you gonna go like African South African, or are you gonna go like Afrikaans South
Dutch.
African, or are you gonna go like English South African? What would you naturally default to? Because most people will default to like Nelson Mandela's voice. When they just go this idea, I'm African, and they just go.
It's annoying. I didn't even think of that. I should have said, it's a South African name. I don't know, like Nelson.
Big Nels. Big Nels, the legend.
That's what I should have said. I don't know who I am.
Do you know what though, man? You're right. Like, because
but I don't know South African though, because it's like if you go, like French, Jean Pierre, you know, or German, Klaus, Fritz, Adolf, whatever. Italy, Alfonso. It's just like South Africa.
But South Africa is a hard one to do as well, because you always border on being racist. You can never get it right.
Well, I think that's very telling of the country itself.
Yes, exactly. But you can't it's not a problem with me, because like when you're there, it's more openly spoke about. But one of the funny things is when Pamela and I when we were dating, the first time I ever went to a family party. They were having this big family get together thing. And,
hi, this is Mick. This is Mick. This is Mick.
Yeah, this is Mick. This is Mick. This is Mick. This is Tande. And then I roll in the door. I honest to God, they opened the fucking door. They were like, Pamela's like, I'm bringing my boyfriend around. He's South African. This is not a joke, by the way. They opened the door and they're like proper Northern Irish folk. They opened the door. And the one of her family members, I'm not going to get into names because it's not worth it. They opened the door and they looked at me and she went, oh. I was like, all right. She goes, I thought you'd be black. And I was like, why? And she's like, you're from Africa. And I was like, Africa's a fucking massive continent. You've really you've just hugely assumed they're African, South African. And I was just like, I laughed. So I just thought Pamela looked at me and I was like, well, there you go. But that's classic, and that's the problem with South Africa, is that you can't. It's one of those countries. It's hard to. I always laugh when people say stuff like what you just said, and they want to go do some sort of accent, but they don't know what to do. There's too many options. Do you do Zulu? Do you do Xhosa with the clicks? Do you do English white speaking? Do you do Afrikaans white? Because it's like the African.
Well, to be honest,
it changes.
To be honest, now the only reference I have because of what we spoke about in the other episode is the techies. It's a nice pair of techies.
Well, to be honest, what I find most people do is they do District 9. I go from South Africa and I go, oh, do you like fucking prawns? And I'm like, I've never said fucking prawns in my life before. And I'm like, that's Dutch, Afrikaans, South African. Hey, you like prawns, do you, my man? Hello. So it's it is quite a funny accent. But yeah, look, this episode is dragged on.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
But I suppose I'll close it off because we talked about graveyards. My mum and dad, we're not a religious family. My mum
they're
was
not dead, are they?
No, they're not. Well, I don't know. I haven't checked in with them today.
Actually, I'll tell you about my granddad. But anyway, that's
dark. but like my grandparents died. I loved my grandparents, all my grandparents, but my mom's side especially because I was very close to them. Very very close to my grandfather. They passed away. Once they passed away, that was like it. I visited the graves a couple of times, but generally I was just like, I got to a point where I was like, I'm over it now. Not them, just the concept of the graveyard. And my mom and dad are quite similar. I want, when I die, I want to be cremated and just plant a tree, throw me at the tree, throw my dust at the tree, and move on with your life. Don't fucking worry about me. I'm not important. And my mom says to me, when we die, we just want you and your brother to just come and lift the body and take us to the crematorium. I was like, sorry, what do you mean lift the body? And she was like, just lift us, just fucking lift us up, whap us in the back of the car, just drive us to the crematorium. I was
My
like,
granddad's the same.
I was like,
he's like, when
have you seen the size of Dad? Like, he's not a fat guy, but I'm like, you want us to lift him? Like, that's gonna be fucking hard on a good day. Like, he's not fat, by the way. He's a big dude. And I was like, he's gonna be all rigor mortis and stiff and shit. And you want us to lift him up, the two of us, and just put him in the back of the car? That's their idea. That's what they think is gonna happen when they die. And I thought,
because my granddad's the same. And my granddad's like 20 stone. You know, he's a big guy. He's got diabetes and stuff. And it's like, when he dies, he goes, I don't want a funeral. I don't want anything. Just put me in the cheapest box you can find and take me to the crematorium.
Totally.
And like, if Lidl or Aldi did coffins, he'd buy one.
Fucking right.
Like,
they
joking.
should though. They'd make a killing. But no,
that's
legit.
legit.
That's you know.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, and I think it's great. I think really great. Like coffin people. It's robbery, daylight robbery, ridiculous, absolute waste of money. You know, life. Let's leave it on this. Right? Life is simple. We choose to overcomplicate it. Yeah.
That's true.
That's it. That's the Over and Out show. Yeah. Not just two lads with a bit of banter. Sometimes we talk about morbid death.
Well, on the episode. We talk about this normally all the time.
Yeah, this is a regular chat for us, but now you get to hear it. So look, thanks for listening. Share it, love it, like it. Do all the things all the time. We appreciate
Inject it into other people's eyeballs.
Yeah, with consent.
Just get some of it.
With consent.
Shove it in.
I've been... Who have I been?
You've been Dyllon. Dead Dyllon. And I've been...
the rat. The raging rat.
Raging rat.
And we'll catch you in the next episode, folks. All right, thanks for watching. Peace out. Why am I doing peace out? Just do that instead. Gotcha.